Hey guys, we are back going into map number 3. It's going to be Breach Uplink, and here we go into the ban and protect phase. Very excited. It's 1-1 in this series. Of course, Zealous eSports tying up with that 6-3 or 6-4 win on S&D, I believe.
6-4, I believe it.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the ban and protect. Of course, Rapid Fire made it through last game. I don't actually know if it was used or not.
No, I think they kind of had an agreement not to use it. I didn't really see any unusual classes come out, so I doubt it was used.
Yeah, I don't remember it being there. But a normal ban and protect, expect overdrive to be gone. Yep, it already is. Overclock active, very active. I mean,
active's one of those specialists that if you're going to keep it in the game, you're going to have to use it to the best of your abilities and expect the other team to do exactly the same. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see that overdrive and camo go, just because if you get the specialist, it's almost guaranteed a 2-point play or at least a 1. Other than that, we see the rapid and high cal go, the overclock go, and the flashbangs go also. As well as the Mano War, on a map like Breach, a very sub-dominant map, like the evac we saw, we're going to often see a 3-to-1 split with 3 submachine guns and 1 AR, or possibly a 2-on-2 split with someone taking the M8 and then taking that Mano War. However, obviously they can't because it's banned, but possibly taking a HVK or ICR just because of the quicker rate of fire that it can do with the close engagements that I have with the submachine guns. But break down this specialist draft for me, if you don't mind, please, Infinity, and how the specialists are going to make a map like Breach really spark into life.
Well, already you can see the Scythe coming out from Dreads. Now that to me tells me he's going to be running an AR this matchup. Of course, the ones who usually normally use the weapons are usually going to be using ARs. And to be honest, a weapon like Scythe or a Tempest is what you normally see on Uplink or CTF. So seeing that here is quite normal. On the other side, of course, we see the kinetic armor coming out from Monk. I'm really not surprised by that. Monk, of course, is a submachine gun player, and you will see abilities like kinetic or heatwave being used. There we see a double psychosis coming from AJ and Baker. Pretty weird stuff from them. I've not really seen psychosis being used much in Uplink. It's not really something I see very often.
I mean,
it's the kinetic active. Well, the active's banned.
It's one of those things where teams usually do ban out the overdrive and camo, like you said, and like we agreed on. So they're going to have to find the next best specialist. Some people often take an extra weapon, sometimes taking the Annihilator or Tempest or Scythe, whichever's not in use. Or some teams take the glitch, having that ability to push one wave the ball if the team's there, glitch back out and stay alive and set up for the next attack. However, the Psychosis is a very interesting one. Obviously, popping the Psychosis, you pop 3 extra drones out of your body in essence, and sometimes it can really bait the players out, draw them out, so you get some understanding and your team gets some awareness as to where those players are set up and might be looking. So from there, once you get the intel as to where the team's set up, you can really put your strategic push together as a squad and try and work towards either getting that 1-point throw or setting up for the dunk.
Yeah, Psychosis is a weird one for me personally. I mean, when it is used, it really does separate the bad players from the good ones, because the good players will know what the Psychosis drones actually are, you know, which ones they are. Because especially if you're with the ball and you're using that Psychosis, the Psychosis drones, they will not have that ball. And it is noticeable. To the best of players, they will see and they will not shoot those Psychosis drones. So, seeing that, to be honest, and looking at it, it just depends on how well these guys actually can play the game. But in talking about those other specialists, I mean, Heatwave, not surprised at all. That's an amazing specialist. You can use that in the best of situations, especially with the ball running. 3 players sitting in the base with ARs. You just Heatwave for sub. You're running through. You're getting that 2-pointer. I guess the most interesting thing to come out of this specialist draft is the Tempest versus Scythe. Of course, we had that talk.
Yeah, we had that discussion earlier. Yeah.
And I think, you know, Dread's now thinking, you know, the Tempest didn't work for me earlier. Maybe I'll use the Scythe instead. See how that goes. Prime sticking with his Tempest though. So I'd like to see, you know, who comes out on top in that situation to see whether Scythe or the Tempest is actually better for these squads. But speaking of score streaks, how do you see that going this game?
I mean, it's one of those situations where on a map like Breach, there's a lot of cover. However, if you have one player go off and can pick up the highest what am I talking about? Kill streaks, sorry. Score streaks, whatever you want to call them, like the Wraith and stuff like that. We do see a lot of players opt to use that in the esports hub. Not too sure what score streaks these players prefer to run. But you kind of mentioned the Tempest versus Scythe. One thing to note on, however, in Affinity, is the fact that the Tempest can one-shot the ball carrier now since that new patch has come in. Since the update has happened, the Tempest having that ability, and that can really come up clutch if the Tempest is left against in a 2-on-1 situation and it's the last seconds and he needs to get a dunk. he one-shots that ball carrier and it changes onto the next players around him. He can really go clutch with that. But I'm not too sure about the Scythe play. It's one of those things, but I think the Scythe does take so long to shoot. However, if it does, once the reel does really heat up and the bullets end up coming out of it, it can really pick up a lot of 2 or 3 pieces because you do die quite quickly. It's just personal preference, but Infinity, who be jumping on board with here? And what are going to be your predictions?
Straight away with Dreads. He's going to be using a HVK. Weird choice considering, normally the M8 is the AR choice for most people, but HVK is going to work for Dreads, as initially does get a kill. We're going to switch over to Slow now. He's going to be going to the top greenhouse off the rip, trying to push the constructor side, maybe just looking at that wall. But I mean, moving into this game straight off the bat, it seems as if the Z Lions squad playing a lot more aggressive. They're just running at them, and I don't know if it's working yet, but Baker gets a nice, nasty little 2 piece. Is he going to get the hit on the... Wait, what's going on here? To be honest, I kind of feel like they're just trying to go for an MMA sort of fighting match there. But,
yeah, who needs guns? We've seen the boxing gloves have come out for everyone. Let's get them on. But AJ picking up a clutch 2-piece there after Baker does pick up a 2-piece of his own. And AJ doing a great job right now, just sitting on top of this top broken area, just absolutely destroying players off head glitches. As he's on a 5 point spree, already got the HGXD to work with, looking to try and earn that lightning strike as well as the Cerberus. And one thing to note on here, Infinity, is kind of the favourable sides on uplinks. You often see each map has its favourable side. You'd probably say the team attacking towards the bottom broken side, the side that the Zealous Lions are on right now, is probably going to be the more favourable one for this particular map, just because you can really set up, watch the overextend, set up either top broken or bottom broken, and just can constantly get the throws, get the rallying going through, and you can rack up a lot of points. However, the spawn trap coming into play for the squad of Zealous Lions as of yet, as Prime has got the ball in the hand and he's trying to work this to try and get the first points on the ball.
Looks like it's going to be a 1 point play, and he's going to miss it. Okay, Monk needs to practice them throws. His arm is obviously not as strong as he thought it was. Does get the kill though. Could get a 2 point play out of this. Good job he did miss. And as you said, really, it's just the fact that they really need to get this spawn trap in, and they need to play that if they want to get the points on. And staying on with Monk, he isn't exactly contributing. He's just running around like a monkey of sorts, just trying to, get some kills and just sort of kill whore. But I don't think it's going to do them much good if they haven't got that spawn trap going. And I don't exactly know what AJ's doing. It is sitting top labs, but it feels like they're just not playing the spawn trap correctly. And while they might be 2 points ahead right now, that's going to cost them a long term.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, AJ did a really nice play there. He saw that 3 went down, hence why the 2 point play ended up going through. And what he did, he completely overextended and ended up picking up that player top lab and just being a nuisance, forcing the players to rack back to their base and try and get control of it. As a result, it kind of gave up the map control and swung it in favour of the Zealous eSports team. But Reap starting off really, really slow, 2 and 7 right now. However, I know he's going to be that objective player. He's going to be that player to try and grab the ball. I know him very, very well, and he's always been that player where he don't really care about his kill death ratio or if he's putting up big numbers in the kill column. He just cares about the W, and it's always nice to have that type of player who will do the dirty work for you. As Dreads is going to pick up a kill on Prime and try and find their second player towards the back of the map. Can't do it. It's going to be Monk who does pick him up. Reap, however, finding lovely movement coming out of Reap with the 1 point play. And one thing I want to touch on, Infinity, which I speak about with the guys over at the Esports Hub and various other tournament and leagues I work with, is the difference between hitting 1 point plays and hitting 2 point plays. I see it all the time, like I said, casting for other leagues where players don't know when to go for ones or when to go for twos. Reap right there did a perfect demonstration of it, not getting greedy, realising, you know what, there's a few players on my base, I'll wait for my squad to push up. He waited for Dreads and Co to kind of support him, they went down. He used the new movement system, slid out, jumped up, hit a 1 point play. Perfect strategical play there coming in from Reaper. However, some other individual players might have tried to do a bit of a hero play, if you know what I mean. End up going down, resulting the whole team going down, and then a counter pull or counter points going in for the opposite lineup, as Monk has got the ball in hand with 54 seconds left. And this has been a really, really low scoring game of uplink so far, Infinity.
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, I mean, I don't believe right now that Zealous Lions are actually playing this anywhere near properly. I mean, they're just not playing the kills that they are getting, and even though that's quite a low amount right now, I mean, Varsity and Prime both negative for the squad. It just, they could be a lot better. They could be doing a lot better right now. The score could be a lot better for them. And if I'm Zealous eSports right now, I'm really not that worried. I mean, fair enough, you might be 2-1 down, but you're 2-1 down on the worst side. if they can continue this score and even get a point, because Dreads has the ball and it doesn't actually drop, as I say that. You know, they're not that bad. They're really not that bad off right now. 2-1 down on the worst side. It's not looking bad for them at all.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree with you there, Infinity, on that behalf. That if you're a player on this squad of Zealous eSports, you're happy with that. You say, you know what, you're up by 1 point on the more favourable side. We'll do the dirty work on the next side and rally you guys as much as possible. That's a perfect pour side from the squad of Zealous eSports, and a very, very strange first side for the squad of Zealous Lions. They had the opportunities there to sometimes set up the spawn trap, however didn't, just like you said, kind of elect to run around the map like headless chickens and give up map control. As a result, didn't pick up the points they wanted to. But you got to say here in Affinity, AJ Williams putting up some huge scores in the score column. Currently got the HXD to work with in his back pocket, looking to earn that Hellstorm and possibly work towards that Cerberus.
Yeah, you're right. 19 and 8, he is doing some work. But now I'm interested to see whether we saw Zealous Lions not able to pull off a spawn trap. Now I'm interested to see whether or not Zealous eSports will be able to do the same thing, or they can get that spawn trap going, to be honest. I mean, if they do it, they can get some serious points on the board, but it looks like Williams electing to go for this initial rush towards Greenhouse. Doesn't have the support with him currently. Just going to try and duke out some players, but it's not going to be enough. Just go for the 1 point play and misses. I don't know what he was doing there, sort of, I guess, just messing up.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why he didn't really need to slide. He could have literally just ran out and stood still and threw it, no matter what, if he died. However, I'm not too sure about that play. He was 1 kill off earning that Hellstorm. Would have really liked to see him kind of reset their ball and play for them streaks, if it was possible. Not too sure why he elected to try and play for the 1 does result in going down and only got a HXD to work with now. But you got to say huge props to Baker, man. We were giving him some criticism in map number 1 and map number 2, not putting up the required numbers his squad needed, but really stepping up in this map number 3, which is going to be this breach uplink, and picking up a lovely 2-piece on Dreads and AJ there. And this looks like a complete different player. Baker's absolutely going off.
Baker is shredding right now, just sitting in the base. Really needs to push out. He's going to push out with his safety card. Just going to spot a player. Just going to sit back. Doesn't need to chase him down. And unfortunately, that push doesn't go as planned. But Baker is definitely doing what is necessary of him, and the ball does stop. So very unfortunate there. But again, like we're saying, Baker absolutely doing the work. He is making this Zealous eSports squad nervous. And speaking of which, though, Reap does have the ball, does go down just as I say that. Bit caught on broken control for slow. I don't think they know he's there. Unfortunately, is going to elect to move, so bad decision from them. Bad for timing, and does get the kill on Baker, though, shuts him down, and that's an important guy to shut down, because we know how good Baker is doing. And the ball, currently just going sort of back and forth, the ball carrier just going down. Dreads now going to make up for that 1 point play they missed earlier. Don't slide, and it does get intercepted. I mean, sliding again? Come on.
And that is actually 3 do go down. However, a real god spawn, if you want to say that, coming in from slow, spawning directly in front of the ball carrier. And it looks like Varsity's actually going to continue to run this all the way down this broken side. However, he's going to try and back up as that player just completely jumps off the map.
You got the right
Dreads
idea.
does take down Prime, and Varsity's just absolutely juking everyone out right now. He's got this squad of Zealous eSports saying welcome to dancing on ice balls. And he's, oh my god, Varsity's just completely duped out nearly every single player of this squad of Zealous. Made 2 players fall off the map. Sorry. The 1 point player comes in, and oh my god, what play from Varsity.
Yeah, definitely. I love that play from Varsity. He was just waiting, baiting these players out with the ball, just waiting for his teammates to come up and help him, and they did. And you saw Baker and Monk just push through. Baker didn't want to really go down towards the end, but they managed to get the 1 point play. Again, amazing play from Varsity, and now you're going to be seeing, again, on the counter attack here. It's going to be Reap with the ball, trying to run through. Has 2 players take down Prime and Varsity, and they should get a 2 point play out of this, unless Monk can make an amazing stop, and he does. Great defensive play from Monk, still has 2 players to deal with, and he's going to have backup very shortly. And the 1 point play misses again. I don't know what it is with Zealous eSports and these 1 point plays, but they keep on missing them.
Yeah, and that is 3 consecutive 2 pieces coming in from members of the squad. First it was Monk, then it was Baker, then it was Prime. And apparently these players just don't like singular kills. Every time I switch onto one of them, they end up picking up a 2 pieces. Baker does find that initial kill on Dreads. Can he find the second? No, it's going to be Reaper to take him down. And Affinity, apparently these squads don't like the good side on uplink. I don't know why. It's been a very strange strategical game so far. Both teams kind of giving up map control when they need to, as Prime picks up yet another 2 piece. Reap just going to go ahead and try and throw that ball down. Tags up a lot of players All of them players there weak. Him's doing a great job to stay alive.
Okay.
Actually destroys the dart in the progress. Reek finds one. AJ finds the second. Stroh finds the third. It's all up to Baker now.
Baker, we know what he can do.
Reek is actually going to get home and free and at least put a 1 point play in. Unless the heat wave comes in from Varsity.
That's a
Make it a 2-piece on Reek. AJ does pick up Monk, however, and I got to say, what a clutch play coming out of Varsity yet again with that heat wave. Prime picks up yet another 2-piece. And with 20 seconds left, it looks like it's going to be Varsity Zealous Lions, sorry, taking this map number 3.
I mean, you're saying it right there, Varsity Lions. You know, I'm very shocked. Just the Zealous Lions' performance this map, I am absolutely shocked. And Baker's standing still now. They're saying GG's. They know what's going on. They know there's not going to be a 2-point play. And again, just so shocked. Zealous Lions, I didn't expect them to come out and win the respawn at all. But, I mean, wow. I mean, 2 bad sides on the bad side from the squads on them. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. Zealous Lions, of course, holding out on the defensive side, getting that 1-point play, and that was fully on Varsity for that, making it going from 2-1 to 3-1. And we have that final scoreline now. Zealous Lions, 3-1. They're going to go up 2-1 in the series.
Full metal everything.
So, going into the next map, we will have CTF. Now, CTF's going to be a lot slower of a game mode, so we'll see how that goes, whether or not that's going to suit the fast-paced play styles of Monk and Varsity. But we will see that in a few moments, guys. We're just going to be switching hosts, I believe, to the other teams. So we'll be right back with you in a moment. Thank you for staying. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please do say so in the comments, and we'll see you guys in a moment.